What if you had a voice AI agent that called your past customers and upsell them on new services, all automated? That's exactly what I built. So in this video, I'm going to show you step by step how to build this voice AI agent with a no-code tool called n8n, and then also a voice platform called Retell, which is super beginner friendly. So regardless of your background, all you have to do is just follow along and you can build this out yourself. Now you can use this for your own business or you can sell this to a client. And this is the type of AI automations that actually sell and make money right now. I'm going to start with a quick live demo and then I'm going to go ahead and build this thing step by step. So let's jump right in. All right. So I'm going to click on execute workflow and this is going to execute and I should get a call soon. So now you can see right now, I should receive a call any second. And there you go. All right, so I'm getting a call. I'm going to take this call and then I'm going to show you what's going on. And the reason why this is calling me is because I used this Google Sheet here. Let me turn the call on though.
Hey John Doe, I am Jarvis with Apex Auto Garage. Am I catching you at a good time?
Yeah, who's this and how did you get my number?
Hi John, I am Jarvis from Apex Auto Garage in San Francisco. You visited us on May 14th, 25 for an oil change on your Mercedes C300. I'm calling to offer a free brake and tire inspection until July 31st. Do you have 5 minutes?
Oh yeah, that's right. Okay, yeah, sure.
Great. Have your brakes been feeling okay lately? Tires feeling low on pressure at all? Would you be open to stopping by this week or next for a quick 30-minute checkup?
Oh, and it's free?
Yes. The brake and tire inspection is completely free for returning customers like you until July 31st. Would you like to schedule a time this week or next?
Yeah, let's go ahead. Do you have any availability for June 9th at 3:30 p.m.?
Checking availability for June 9th. June 9th at 3:30 p.m. is just at the end of an available slot. Would you like to book it at 3 p.m. or 4 p.m. instead?
Yeah, let's go ahead and book it at 3 p.m.
Can I please have your full name for the appointment?
Yeah, full name is John Doe.
Thanks, John. Could you please provide your email address for the appointment confirmation?
Email address is johndoe@gmail.com.
Thanks, John. Just to confirm, you want to book the free brake and tire inspection on June 9th at 3 p.m., correct?
Yes.
Your appointment for the free brake and tire inspection is confirmed for June 9th at 3 p.m. It seems the email address you provided has a formatting issue. Could you please provide your email again in the usual format? Like johnd@gmail.com.
Yeah, johnd@gmail.com.
Thanks, John. Just to confirm, you want to book the free brake and tire inspection on June 9th at 3 p.m. with the email john.d@gmail.com.
Yes.
Your appointment for the free brake and tire inspection is confirmed for June 9th at 3 p.m. Thanks again, John Doe. We'll see you soon. Take care.
As you can see, now I have this call summary that ended, and this is going to go ahead and summarize all of that call volume, all of the call summary, and then update it to our Google Sheet here. So there you go. If I go back here, now you'll see that it says Jarvis from Apex Auto Garage called John Doe to offer a free brake and tire inspection. Whoops. Valid until July 31st. After confirming its availability, they scheduled an appointment for June 9th at 3 p.m. Which now, if I go to my email, you'll see now I have an appointment that got scheduled for 30 minutes with John Doe on June 9 p.m. And as you saw during the call, during the demo here, I asked specifically for 3:30 because I already had a meeting at 3:30. So I wanted to make sure that it's not going to give me an appointment that's already booked. So that's why it went ahead and said, oh, that's not available, but I can do 3 p.m. or 4 p.m. And as you saw pretty easily, it booked an appointment for me and then also sent an email with the reminder. So as you can see, this is very powerful because you can actually sell this to different businesses, because obviously a lot of businesses offer different services, and this is very valuable if you can build a voice agent for them that could upsell them new services. So all right, so now that you saw the demo, let's go ahead and build this thing step by step. Okay, so I'm in my blank n8n workflow. So for those of you who are not familiar with n8n, n8n is a great no-code platform. I'm going to put the link in the description. You can click on it and sign up for a free trial. And then also, as far as the voice platform that we're going to be using Retell AI. But let me go ahead and actually bring this workflow over so that way I can show you a few things and then we'll go ahead and build this thing out. So if I head over to my community, I can just go to the YouTube resources. I have everything laid out here on the community, so including the prompts and everything like that, but I can just go to the bottom, download this n8n blueprint, and then come back here. So if you're completely new, this is probably the easiest way to do it. And bring this over. So this is going to bring everything over. So what's happening is we're using a Google Sheets, and the Google Sheet that I'm building, that I'm using is essentially just has name, email, phone number, the last visit, and the detail of that particular customer. Obviously, this is just an example, so I have like one, but you know, on a normal CRM, you would have a list of customers, obviously, and there could be like hundreds or something like that. And it's very easily, you could call each one of them individually, and I'm going to show you how to do that. But essentially what I'm doing it is I'm using this manual workflow, and then I'm reaching out to Retell AI, and then I am having it call that particular customer based on the information that's available in that Google Sheet. And then afterwards, once the call is complete, this particular section, this just summarizes the conversation that the voice AI agent had, and then it goes ahead and updates this existing Google Sheet right here, as you can see, with the call summary, and then obviously all of the information as far as the booking the appointment is sent via email to the customer and to the client themselves. So that's essentially what it does. Now, as far as the concept of voice AI agents, right now, voice AI agents are one of the best and one of the fastest growing spaces in the AI space, in the AI automation space. A bunch of people on our community have already been selling the voice AI agents. So for example, Adam Sand sold 3 voice agents in like 24 hours. We had somebody else. So I believe Timothy just sold his first voice AI agent to the customer. So this is one of the hot topics right now. By the way, in the community we have, if you're completely new and you want to know how to monetize AI automations, then make sure you join the community, because I have an entire section called Launch Your AI Agency with n8n, Earn with n8n, where we go through and give you a day-to-day accountability, and I walk you through step-by-step how to choose your niche, choose your business name, set up your domain and email, how to start taking discovery calls, how to send out contracts, how to price everything, how to reach out and send Upwork applications to different automation clients, and everything else that you need. And on top of that, because obviously I have my own AI agency, so we give you all of the information you need on how to run a successful AI agency business, including the pricing strategies, the proposals, sample client case studies that we use, so that we can set you up. So regardless of your background, you'll be able to get your first paying AI automation client. So make sure you check it out. It's a great program. And then also, if you're completely new to n8n, I have an entire n8n for beginners course that will walk you through the absolute basics, intro to AI automations to n8n, and then also step-by-step beginner-friendly tutorials to get you up to speed, so that way you can earn and learn and earn with n8n. And then we also have our great community members. They're all there to help each other out. I mean, there's some amazing people with different backgrounds who are always there to share their successes and their struggles and help each other out and keep each other accountable. We also have a calendar section that you can jump in and ask any questions. We have daily calls, whether it's about AI agency, how to make money with AI, and then also tech support calls and everything else. So make sure you check out the community. I'm going to put the link in the description. Hopefully I'll see you on the inside. All right, so let's get back to the video. So as I mentioned, this section is what we're doing. We're essentially grabbing the information I'm using Google Sheet here, but this could be any CRM. I mean, you could do Airtable or any other CRM. The goal is that we need to grab the customer information in this particular step, because we're going to reach out to Retell AI, which I'm going to walk you through in a little bit, to make that call and make that upsell. And then the second part right here, what this is doing is we're just basically updating the CRM, which in our case will be just a Google Sheet, to update the call summary of the AI agent interaction with the customer. Okay, so now let's go ahead and build this thing out step by step. So I'm going to actually go ahead and start with a completely new workflow. Okay, so this is the blank workflow. So the first thing we need to do is we need to have a trigger. That's how n8n starts. Any workflow on n8n starts with some kind of a trigger. I'm using a manual trigger, but this could be a scheduled trigger, or so that way, if you're, for example, if you have a CRM that you have a customer database, every week it could call customers, and you can update the status of each column, so that way it only calls the customers that haven't been called yet, for example, right? So you could use that, but for my particular purpose, I'm just going to use a manual trigger, so that way I can manually start this workflow. So the next step is we need to add our Google Sheet here. Again, in my Google Sheet, I only have a few columns: name, email, phone number, the last visit, because this is the date of the last customer visit, and the details of what that appointment was for. And in my case, this was oil change for my Mercedes-Benz. And then the upsell call summary column, this will be empty, of course, because this will get updated afterwards. So let's go ahead and now add our Google Sheet here. So I'm going to click on the plus button, look for Google Sheet. All right, and so we're gonna get rows basically, because we're grabbing the information from the Google Sheet, so that's why the operation is going to be get rows. The credential type, it's very easy to add this. All you have to do is just click on create new credential and connect to your Google account. I've done a bunch of tutorials on this, so check out my previous videos if you're not familiar with this. All right, so from the document list, you're just going to click on choose, and I have named my upsell voice AI agent, which is this Google Sheet right here. And then if you loaded it properly, this will grab the sheet, and then you leave everything as it is, the combined filters. Now, if you have a lot of data here, you can add an additional column that you can give the status to, so that way it can filter based on the status there. But for now, I'm just going to leave it as it is. So if I click on execute step, this should be able to grab that data that's inside the Google Sheet. And there you go, right? So it has the name, John Doe, email, the phone number, the last visit, the details, and blah, blah, blah. That's it. So now that we have that, now this is where we need to add our HTTP request node, and we need to add our Retell AI agent. So I'm just going to look for HTTP request node. All right, so in n8n, the HTTP request node is used to reach out to an API, a third-party API. In our case, we're going to use Retell. So the method is going to be post, and then the URL we need to grab from our Retell. All right, so now let's go ahead and switch to our voice agent platform, which is called Retell AI. If you're not familiar with Retell AI, let me go ahead and take a look at this right here. I have the link right here. So you can check out Retell AI. I'm going to put the link in the description. You can just go ahead and click on that. You can sign up for a free account, and then you can go ahead and use I think they give you like $10 worth of free credit, which is great. So you're going to log in, and then it will bring you to this page. Obviously, yours is going to look blank. You're going to click on, because I have a bunch already here, you're going to click on create an agent. We're going to use a voice agent. And then here, you're going to select a single prompt agent. Don't worry about the rest for now. And you're going to click on start from blank. And go click on create. All right. So this is our blank agent here. So this is the prompt section. So this is where we need to give this voice agent a persona, give it instruction of how to interact with the client, and then also function calling that we will use dynamic variables or dynamic parameters to reach out to our n8n or third party here. Right here, this is where it has access to different large language models. And in our case, we're going to use GPT 4.1. So I'm going to use the GPT 4.1 mini. You can see the different prices here based on the LLMs. So I'm going to go ahead and use the fast tier. All right. And then you can select a voice here. So you can select different voice. Let's see. I'm going to use, let's go ahead and use Brian, for example. There you go. I think that's good. Yep. All right. So for the voice, I'm just going to go ahead and copy and paste this, because otherwise I don't want to type this. It will take a very long time if I type this. You can just go ahead and use this as a sample. Again, you don't have to be part of the community, but where did it go? Right here. It's this one. I'm just going to paste this. So you can just use ChatGPT or Claude to come up with something like a basically like a role and then also the tasks. So I just use ChatGPT to create this. But essentially, I'm giving it a role. I'm saying you're Jarvis, a virtual AI assistant for Apex Auto Garage based in San Francisco, California. Caller information. These are the dynamic variables. So the name, email, last visited, details. This is coming in from our Google Sheet here. So that's why it's like inside these curly brackets. So anything that's inside the curly brackets, it's basically a variable. And then I'm giving it a task that you're supposed to call returning customers that are previously visited the garage, and you're supposed to offer these free break entire inspections that's available till July 31st, right? So that's what you're doing. You're basically giving it step-by-step guide on what to do, what not to do, and then also that it has the fact that it has availability for different functions that it could call. And in our case, we'll give these functions like the transfer call, end call, book appointment, and check availability. All right, so let's go ahead and add the functions now. So if I go to the right-hand side right here, this is where you can add functions. So if I click on add, you have multiple functions that's at your disposal. So a call transfer, essentially, it says transfer the call to a human agent. And whenever there's an issue, or if the customer asks, hey, can I talk to a real person? Then this is a great thing about Retell AI, that it gives you this option to transfer it to a person, a human person, and you can provide their phone number here. So let's go ahead and actually do that. So I'm just going to click on save, leave it as it is. All right, so now that's enabled. We can also add an end call. This is very important because this is where you need to make sure that you're calling this function to end the call, because otherwise it's going to keep going forever, right? And it will cost you a lot of money. So, and then I'll show you where I called this particular function to end the call. Description, this is optional, so you can just leave it as it is. And then for check availability, so this is important. So this is where we're going to use cal.com. If you haven't used cal.com, it's this very popular calendar app essentially. So you can go ahead and sign up for a free account there. You don't have to pay any money, anything like that. They give you a really nice free tier. And then you'll come to event types. You'll just add a new event. So you can just add a new event. You can give it whatever title. I just added a 30-minute meeting. So you'll click on that. This is very important. You're going to go to the top right here, and this is your event ID. So you're going to copy this. We're going to come right here and then paste it right here. It's called event ID. And then also the API. So in order to get your API, you're going to head over to your settings, to your API key, and you just click on add, and you'll create a new API key and paste your API. I already have mine, so I don't have to create that. But you'll just come here and paste that here. So for now, I'm just going to put something. All right, so those are the functions there. You can add a knowledge base. This basically gives it additional information about your particular company if you want, and if you want to also give it a context, so that way you can ask the agent, hey, when you're talking to the customer, if there's additional information that's needed, reach out to the knowledge base, and you can click on add here. You can add different types of knowledge base here, so you can add a website, you can add a PDF document, and also just a plain text as well. You can do speech settings, so you can check this out on your own. The great thing is, like, you can add like realistic stuff like a background noise. So if you want to have like coffee shop, like summer outdoor, static noise, all these stuff, and then also a bunch of other settings that it has. But in our use case, if you're building this thing for a simple upsell, then you don't have to worry about these things at this point. You can leave everything as it is, and here you can just click on save. So what this will do is this will add all of that information here. So I'm going to go ahead and get back to the workflow here. So we're going to reach out to this particular endpoint. So instead of going to the API docs, I'm just going to go directly right here. Scroll to the bottom, and this is the, we're going to reach out to this endpoint called create call. Okay. Authentication, we're going to do generic credential type. We're going to do a custom authorization. And then here's where you can add, I've already added mine, but this is, you can just click on create new credentials, and then you're going to use this formatting. Okay. Copy. I'm going to paste this here. Just make sure you replace your API key. So the API key that you get from Retell that I showed you earlier, you just go to your setting and you'll get an API key, and you'll come here and just replace this and click on save. Okay, very simple. So I'm just gonna close this because I already have one. Retell AI, there you go. We're also going to send body. So for the body content type, it's going to be JSON. You're going to use JSON below, and same thing. So here's the parameters that we need to now copy. So I'm going to go to the bottom right here. Feel free to pause the video and copy and paste this. So I'm just going to use that, switch to expression, and paste. All right, so what's happening here is that we need to have a from number and then also a to number. The to number is obviously the dynamic variable that we're grabbing from our customer here. So I'm literally just doing this, right? If you just drag and drop, it will bring in that dynamic variable. And then also same thing, the name, the phone number, the email, the last visit, and all of that is dynamic variable that's coming in from our Google Sheet here or whatever CRM that you're using. Now the from number, so this is where you now, if you don't have a number, you need to go to Retell, and then, so if I get out of here, you can go ahead and buy a number from here if you don't have a number already. So if I go to phone numbers, you can click on plus button, you can buy a number, you can use Twilio or Telenex. It's very simple. So all you have to do, if you're familiar with Twilio already, you can just go ahead and enter an area code, right? Especially if you're in the US, and then you can buy, it's $2. It's very, very cheap. And if you started with a free account, then it will give you $10. I think Retell gives you $10. So we'll already cover that. One thing is you gotta make sure you go through identification. So mine, it says make an outbound call because I already did my identification, but yours is, this is not going to show up unless you identify or unless you confirm your identity. At least in the US, that's the case. So you're going to click on that. It will give you like a link where you can go ahead and verify your identity, and then you'll be able to use this. Again, that's just, unfortunately, at least in the US, it's an FTC rule. So you have to go through that process in order for you to buy a number and attach it to a voice agent. And then once you do, that's where now you can use this as an inbound agent or an outbound agent, right? Because now you have this number that's connected to your Retell voice AI agent. So when you're seeing what you're seeing right here, this number is this exact number that I've bought earlier from my Twilio here. The override agent ID. So this ID is coming in from right here. So if I go back to my agents, so it will be, oh, let me go back because I already made one. Yeah, it will be right here on the top, on the left-hand side, it says agent ID. All you have to do is click on copy here, and you can go ahead and paste it here. Okay. Boom. There you go. That's all you need. And then everything else you can leave as it is. I don't know why this is formatted weird. There you go. Yep. Everything else is the same. So as you can see on the right hand side, this is the information that's it's pulling from our Google Sheet here. Okay. So that's it. That's all you need to do. And now if I click on test step, so now it should be, let me pull up my phone here so you can see. I click on execute step. So now it says, so let's see, it should call me. So there you go. You can see that it's calling me.
Hey, John Doe. I am Jarvis with Apex Auto Garage. Am I catching you at a good time?
Yep. Hey, John. How you doing, Jarvis? Yep.
I'm doing well. Thanks for asking. I'm reaching out because you came in on May 14th, 2025 for an oil change on your Mercedes C300. We're offering a free tire pressure and brake check. For returning customers,
no, I'm good actually, Jarvis. No, I'm not interested.
Thanks for your time, John. If you ever need us, just give a shout. Take care.
There you go. So this time I actually say I'm not interested, and it knows enough based on the prompt that I had provided to hang up as if the customer says I'm not interested, right? But as you saw in the beginning of the call, the demo that I did in the initial call, it was able to reach out and book an appointment for us based on the function, because we have this book appointment and check availability added already in there. Okay, so that's essentially that step. It takes care of everything. Now the second step, you can add this. This is optional. You don't have to do this. So let me go ahead and actually show you how this works. So if I just copy this, just bring it over here, paste it. Okay, so this is a webhook. The way to add a webhook is like you click on add node. You're gonna search for webhook. There you go. Whoops. Webhook. All right. So what we need to do is you can change this to whatever. So you can change it to upsell, and this will this will change the URL right here. If you're building this for a customer, make sure you're switching to production, because otherwise then you would have to always click on that test tab. But essentially what this is doing is you're going to copy this. You're going to go to your Retell, in the bottom right here, it says webhook setting, and you're going to paste this, right? Because as soon as the call ends, it's going to send the transcript to this webhook. And then from this webhook, what we're doing here, where'd it go? Yeah. So that information is going to come from this webhook right here. And then we're going to grab that information, use this summarization chain to just summarize the call transcript. And then we're going to go ahead and update this our Google Sheet right here, this cell, with that call transcript. So that's all we're doing. Very, very simple, right? Like, we're not doing anything extra. And you don't have to use Google Sheet. Now, you can, for example, send yourself an email if you want, right? So you can just add a Gmail, right? And you can send yourself a Gmail with the transcript of the call. You can add a Slack channel. You can do a lot of things here from the summary or the information that's coming in from your Retell voice agent from the webhook here, right? So there's lots of different functionalities that you can add. This is just a sample workflow, of course. The great thing about Retell and the combination of n8n and Retell is the fact that you can make this as complex as you want or as simple as you want. But it does get the job done, as you saw in the beginning of the call. It's very robust because we can add different functionalities to it through Retell AI, and then also we can connect it to n8n for a very robust integration. All right, so hopefully that made sense to you. Again, if you're interested about learning and how to monetize this, please make sure you join the community, because that's the best space for you to learn, especially with voice AI agents, and then also with n8n and everything else that you need in order for you to get your first client. Hopefully you found this helpful. Thanks for watching. Make sure you like and subscribe, because I've got a lot of great content coming up that you don't want to miss. Thanks for watching. I'll see you on the next one.